Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Corey from Lion Dads, and in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about coming off medications, if that's a possibility for you, and just kind of how to deal with, like, if you're coming into this diet and you have medications you take and you start thinking you don't need them anymore, how to kind of go about that. But before we get started, I want you guys to go to lion-dads.com. I have a link down in the description and get my free PDF on getting started on a carnivore diet. It's got everything you need, including a shopping list to get started and ditch your dad bod right now. So go click that link before we do anything and get that PDF. So when I came onto this, I wouldn't say I was on a ton of medications. I definitely had some that I was taking, nothing prescribed. I had a couple, like one that was prescribed, and it was for like acid reflux and things like that. And that's actually what led me here in the first place, was dealing with this really bad, severe indigestion, heartburn, acid reflux stuff. But I had also been taking allergy medications my whole life. I was ibuprofen, not a pill junkie, but a popper or anything. But I took ibuprofen because I had a lot of joint pains and things like that. Eating lots of Tums, which aren't really medicine, but just things like that. Those were my kind of experience with medication. So really, really minor type stuff that I know a lot of you are dealing with, medications that are way more potent and treating things that are way more severe than I ever went through. So I just kind of want to go over that stuff today and how you can go about it, because I've coached a lot of people on this who were on these kind of medications and had these ailments that they dealt with for a very long time, and these medications were just a part of their life. And it eventually does often lead you to question, do I still need this? So some examples that I have seen, definitely like pain type medications. I've known people being on stuff that is more on the like painkiller, not killer, but maybe higher doses of ibuprofen or like a stronger, like Tylenol with like some codeine in it, things like that I've seen people on that that they've wanted to get off of for a long time, rightfully so. I think that shit's really damaging to inside you and things like that. Mental health obviously is a big one, and that's a touchy one in this kind of space, a touchy one to kind of be talking about. I know there's a lot of people on mental health type medications that they've been on for a long time, whether it's treating something like depression, bipolar, anxiety, just even anxiety, whether you're getting into like your SSRIs and things like that. Those are all medications that there are people that will be on that will come to this diet, and we'll get into that in a little bit. And, just different things. Cholesterol, that's the other big one. I see a lot of people on like statins and things like that, cholesterol medications, blood thinners, all kinds of stuff like that. And so they find this way of eating, and they start to naturally, as they're getting the nutrients and their body's rebuilding and healing and getting the adequate protein and fat and vitamins and amino acids and minerals and all the good other fun stuff that comes with actually eating the way that you're supposed to be eating, you start to feel good, right? You start noticing that, this thing that has bothered me almost my whole life. Like for example, me, I dealt with allergies my entire life. Since I was a little kid, I was taking, when I was early on, I was taking Benadryl. I hated Benadryl because it always made me obviously drowsy. So then I switched to like Claritin later on. Then I found Zyrtec and things like that. And I was always upping my doses. I ended up getting on like prescription stuff because the over-the-counter shit just wasn't strong enough for me anymore. And as I got older and older into my 30s, man, everywhere I'd go, my allergies just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And I got so tired of taking that shit. And I found this carnivore diet, and I started noticing, like, even when I was on allergy medications, like, I would still feel it. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be as bad, but you'd feel it. And when I got on here, I noticed my big allergy season, which is like summertime, rolled around, and nothing happened. I could go out and mow my lawn. I could go do whatever outdoor hike activities. Like I used to like hiking type stuff where there'd be like flowers and trees and crap around. Like it was a no-go for me, right? Like I'd go out around that stuff and just, I'd feel awful. And I noticed I could do these activities and I'd feel fine. I'd have no problems whatsoever. So my last prescription, I just basically didn't go get it. And I just went and bought some over-the-counter Zyrtec and did that for like a month or two. Nothing, no change, no nothing. So then I just quit taking allergy medicine. This is right around the 2020 stuff going on. And I mean, we weren't really able to go out and do stuff anyway, but the activities I would go out and do, I noticed I'd feel fine. So I've basically been allergy pill free for almost going on 4 years now. So, I mean, that's awesome. I wish I could have gone my whole life. I think of all the activities I missed out on early on in my life because I'd avoid activities because of allergies. You don't think about how that stuff impacts your whole life, you know what I mean, until you really sit and you look at the big picture. So coming off those kind of medications for me was huge. As I got fatter before I found this diet, I started getting really bad like pains in my chest and stuff, which I thought I was having heart attacks and things like that, and it turned out it was like really bad indigestion. I'm sure never had a heart attack, I'm sure having a heart attack is way worse feeling than that. I just didn't have anything else to correlate it to. I felt the pain in my chest, and that's what I associated it with, like crippling pain. It turned out to be, the doctor told me, he's like debilitating, like heartburn and indigestion and stuff like that. And, you know, they issued me medicine and all that kind of stuff, and I took it. And then I used to, like, go through Tums like they were candy and Rolaids and stuff like that. And I haven't had to use any of that kind of stuff in 4 years now. So that's awesome, too. So those are two things that I've been able to come off of myself. But as you start getting into some of the other bigger medications that you've been on because you've got some physical, you know, issues that you need to alleviate, whether that's a mental health thing, whether that's a physical thing, I don't think it's going to be quite so simple as just, I don't need this anymore and I'm just not going to take it, all right? It doesn't really necessarily work that way. And I know with a lot of the mental health medications, if you quit them cold turkey, it actually has really bad ramifications as far as like having like crippling depression or anxiety or whatever come back on you and things like that. So what you need to do if you're on medications and you're seeing better results and you're starting to feel better, what you need to do is keep in contact with your doctor about this kind of stuff. And that's really what I'm going to just leave you with. It's not going to be a very long video. I just want to let you guys know that, yeah, it is a thing that you can come off of your medications with this. You can definitely get better. You can definitely, hopefully, and my hope for everybody is to become medication free. I'm sure, you know, Big Pharma would love to hear that from my video. Luckily, I'm a small channel, and hopefully, I don't, you know, get any blowback from that. But I hate seeing people on medication. I wish we didn't need it. I wish it wasn't a thing we needed. And I'd love for you guys to fix your problems with your diet, but I know that that's not the way this really works. You know what I mean? There are going to be things that some of you are going to need medication on probably forever, you know, and that's, you know, it is what it is. But improving your quality of life and at least being able to come off some of the stuff would be, you know, what I think best case scenario for you guys. Best case scenario would be come off everything, but, you know, if you can eliminate having to take the whole big pill box with you everywhere you go your whole life, and you just have maybe one or two things you have to take, to me, that's even just as optimal as having none. You know what I mean? But like I said, do it the smart way. You got to keep going to your doctor about it. If you're on cholesterol or blood organ type medication, I would not just come off that stuff. You know what I mean? I would not just, I don't need this anymore because I'm on the carnivore diet. No, you need to talk to them. You need to come up with a game plan. Your doctor is going to be pissed off at you for eating an animal-based diet because that's the way they think. because their thoughts of nutrition is still stuck in the 1980s and going off the food pyramid and pumping sugar and seed oils and shit down your throat at the expense of fat. But that's another topic for another time. Just keep in contact with your doctor. If you need to be taking medication, they will let you know. If they're seeing that you don't need to be taking medication, they'll hopefully take you off of it. Another caveat I will throw out there, if you go to a doctor and you really in your heart of hearts don't think that you need something and they are absolutely pushing it on you, pressuring you to take it, absolutely 100% will not take you off a medication that you in your heart of hearts do not think you need anymore. You always have a right to a second opinion. And I always recommend a second opinion anyway. There are lists of doctors out there who are supportive of a more ketogenic and animal-based carnivore diet. I think Dr. Ken Berry on his YouTube channel, he has a bunch of those resources. You can go find them. I don't have any of that stuff. Maybe someday I'll do a video on that. I'll do some research on it when I have the time. But you always have the right to go get a second opinion. I do know that there are doctors out there. I'm not saying all doctors are bad. I'm not saying they're all this way. There are a lot of doctors out there that are basically just glorified pill pushers. They're getting kickbacks from, medicine companies, big pharma, if you will, whatever, and their intention is to make money the more medications they prescribe, and it is not in their best interest to get you off of them. But there are doctors out there who do want to see you go medicine free and would like to see you. Unfortunately, the world we live in, the money's in the medicine, it's not in treating you. So you have to take that shit into your own hands and use your best judgment and go see a doctor. If it doesn't feel right, go see a different doctor. Do your research. And that's basically what I'm going to leave you with. So as a reminder, go down to lion-dads.com, link in the description, and get your free PDF on getting started with the carnivore diet. Use the shopping list. Go buy all the foods on there just to get you going. And I will see you guys in the next one. Later.